What's going on? What's going on? Brutus here, bringing you another MLCW war recap video because I'm over here at Team WBT. And they were up against Chaos Hammer and took away the victory 87-85. I believe this is the end of the regular season for the MLCW, and Team WBT was fighting for a playoff spot, trying to control their own destiny. If my memory serves, I believe they may have clinched a berth into the playoffs. And if I need to correct myself, I'll put that in the description. But I'm pretty certain that this victory gets them there. So good job to Team WBT. 87-85, 95-94 total destruction. And how did that break down? It was 3-8 and then the rest to fill of a 30-on-30 war. And what Chaos Hammer did, you guys might recognize the name because there was Queen Bitch attack strategy, or also a live attempt of me trying it in a war. I got inspired by watching Chaos Hammer, their channel, because they were doing it, and it was pretty awesome. So I'll make sure to link Chaos Hammer's YouTube channel in the description as well. What they did to the Town Hall 11s was they doubled all 3 of them, and then they did clear all of the Town Hall 10s with the exception of 2, and that was the difference maker. And of course all the 9s are done. And then for Team WBT, doubling the top Town Hall 11s and then clearing all the 10s in the rest of the map. And how did that transpire? That's because the Town Hall 11 dip game was perfect for Team WBT. Chaos Hammer had 1 dip fail, and then for 10-on-10 threes, Team WBT had 2 of them, and Chaos Hammer did not have any for 10-on-10 threes. So that is how the crookie cumbers. Let's start to see what some of those replays are. Let's start with those 10s because it was a 6-pack, not a beer run. That would be insane for Dr. 3-star PhD. One of his 2 6-packs. 3-star 10-on-10. We'll show both of them as part of this recap because they're both very different and they both deserve to be shown. Really nice job doing a wizard funnel here, nice and cheaply. Gonna wall breaker in and get the queen, who's gonna hop into the X-bow, and there's dsow trying to tell me like, hey, you need to check this and check that. He's funny. He's like, hey, our war is done. If you want to come on over. I'm like, I've been sitting in the clan for a while watching the ending, buddy. He's like, I'm driving. I gotta appreciate him. So he's just making sure that I get in here before the 24 hours is done, because I've learned that I can't recap it on a Monday morning. That's just way too noisy with my daycare kids coming and my own family. So got to get it in when it's done. But really, back to this replay, how he was able to get in there, get the queen, the air defense, and then uses his own queen with the ability to basically get some pivotal air targeting like wizard towers and such like that, and then just lets her die to the Hound Loon that is by itself dragged out of the picture, with the exception of this one hut, which won't be too hard because he's got 2 archers to drag the Hound Loon away from this on the cleanup. Really nice haste, good timing of the freeze to get over there, and then just for insurance purposes, making sure he had a heal there, but did better than expected on the entry, I believe is why. He might look like he didn't quite need that, but you never know, man, on 10v10s. So he's got a healthy hound, or unpopped hound rather. It would be nice if it would bust here to give him some cleanup pups, but he's got a minions on the back end trash ring, as well as some lava pups in the core working on the BK. The story's really going to be, will this hound bust or not? And that's why you want to hold on to that poison. Believe he might have meant to use that, unless I missed it, used it on the CC Queen encounter. I know I commonly missed that. So the hound does bust, and now it's a chase for the cleanup troops, and you're going to see how that happens. They're going to chase over to these loons, and it's going to get scary. But there's that hound that's just about to burst. I don't believe it's going to get the hound, though, although because he does have some. We'll go to ×2. I know it's really exciting. But then he uses the poison to take care. Sorry, I had to. I knew what was going to happen. Then he uses the poison to basically get rid of them while they're all bunched up together. Nice job, Dr. 3-star PhD, which is a bit redundant. Doctor. I digress. Let's get out of here and look at his other 10-on-10 3. I'll make sure to show you guys dsow's raid too, because GoWeWe is back. post update. It was actually around before update. Before the update happened and make witches spawn skeletons about half a second or 0.4 to be precise seconds faster. It was already a pretty viable strategy, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. GoWWE is pretty badass. We'll show it after this replay here. So with the golem not cooperating and taking that jump, does reroute to the exposed cannon instead. Shorter distance to aggro, and then uses the ability to make sure he gets this Infernal Tower. Whenever you're base building Town Hall 10s, you probably don't want to put in a compartment like that where you can get so many valuable targets that would help defend a Lalo, such as Infernal Towers and 2 air defenses right in the same close proximity. Queen Charge alone can get you that, and he takes full advantage of that. Dr. 3-star PhD does. Using that exploit, and then with those air defenses taken away, basically just sweeping across a Lalo, just overwhelming the base, really. Haste in the right spot. Again, he's got an unpopped, almost damn near healthy Hound at the back end. He's got to drag this Hound Loon right here in the middle that the Larrys are already working on. And if he did drop that Archer at the far left, which will at least take away the hut. And then, but the story really is that Hound's working on the Larrys from the Larry kill on the Queen, and that Hound's gonna bust. But before it busts, he's got Loons all in the right spot and taking away all the cleanup trash basically before that Hound bust. Never gets a chance to, so that he's able to pull down that 3 before he has to fight off and make decisions about fending off the enemy lava pups. Nice job, man. Pivotal 3 stars. We'll get down out of here, and then let's go down to some 9-on-9s, and we'll start with 16, and I will leave you with dsow's GoWWE. So YOLO Fish trademarked. Had to do this because it's perfectly imperfect. Clean up. He uses his BK to tank for his Queen. Uses the wall breakers, so it looks like he wants his Royals to go in there. But that Tesla pop pulls the Queen out of position, so after the wall breaker, sorry, not wall breaker, the BK breaks in there to get the Archer Tower, misses it completely, and doesn't aggro the CC either. But the CC, I believe, is a Hound. So he could have ignored it anyway. You'll see what happens here. So nothing comes out of that CC. Down the haste to zoom over to the Expo Island. And then the Queen locks on to a Hound. Puts down a haste, a rage, and then the skeletons. They'll win that battle. And then he's already starting the rest of his Lalo function here. 12 Loons in the bag and a heal spell for ending on a Wizard Tower farm. Look at all them Larrys. They're not going to last long coming up on this Wizard Tower, but man, them Larrys are everywhere. So 2 healthy Hounds on the bottom. He's bagging 5 Loons for cleanup, as well as wants to see what happens here. Not sure I would put down this heal, but you got to, it's careful because you want the Hounds to bust, so that's going against you, but you don't want to lose your Loons, as they, the Wizard Tower splash damage might get them even though they're aiming at the Hounds. So he decides to put that down there. It doesn't work against him. He's got enough cleanup pups all over the place and 2 Loons for the back end that he can pull down this 3. I can see why he had it trademarked with YOLO. I mean, to me, it looked like it didn't go according to plan, and he just stuck to it. And wrecked the base. I mean, just absolutely wrecked it. Still got Larry's beating on the walls, for God's sakes. Nice job, man. Let's bounce out of here and let's look at an old school, because I'm an old fool who's so cool. That's right. So, I'm going to pause, take a look at the army composition. This is a sub 2-minute raid, almost damn near sub minute and a half. Let that sink in. So, he's going to do double jump. Let's just push play. This was wreck and face before the update. Post update on the right base. This really wrecks face. Yeah. So this is not a catch-all. I mean, it may look like spam, but it's really not. And I am not a huge fan of this. It's not like a go-to strategy, but it's nice to know that on the right base with all the splash damage back here, the motors as well. He had like, what, 3 or 4 at most splash damage to deal with on the entry. And taking advantage of the channel in the middle of the base to use against his advantage to get basically 2 jumps to access the entire base. It's hard not to do this strategy. And it's badass. On the right base, just don't forget the old strategies sometimes work with whenever the old rules are being ignored. Gotta watch out for witches. I've experimented with this because of watching dsow in this raid and stuff like this. I've had similar success, but I just want to say it's not a catch-all. It's not like the newest thing out there. It's an old strategy. Just add bowlers to it. But yeah, it's really, really effective. You got to watch the corners. If your witches get hung up on corners and splash damage on the outside, and if you can't funnel correctly, or there's any type of outside Teslas that irritate or basically try to make the attacker work harder for the funnel, there's a chance for it to fail. But yeah, I saw this and I had to share it. So I hope you guys enjoyed that as much as I did. It's an interesting army composition. But we'll bounce out of here. Leave you guys with the final score. Once again, it's Brutus reminding you, you got to be better than the double. Now we'll check you next time.